Number 3 is not having a financial plan. So having a financial plan is very important because it helps you understand where you need to get to and how you're going to get there. And without a financial plan, you're really in no man's land. And moving country means that things get even harder because you're now in a system where the taxes are completely different. You need to understand, for example, from income tax, what the tax brackets are and what the net amount you're going to receive is, capital gains tax, dividend tax, inheritance tax. All of these different taxes are going to change your financial plan completely. The next point would be the pension system in the country where you've gone to as well. So from a public pension point of view, so social security, it's understanding if you would be entitled to a state pension and how many years or how much money have you got to pay into the system to get one. The next point would be what would you get at the age of retirement and when is retirement going to be. This is very, very important because the difference of the income that you make from these state pensions is a difference of how much money you don't need to save in other investment accounts to then make up the income in retirement. You could also have state pensions in different countries around the world, so you need to find out whether you can merge these together or claim them separately, and if you do claim them separately, how is that going to impact the overall income? So if you merge them, do you get a higher income or do you get a lower income than if you took them separately? What I would then look at is workplace and private pension schemes and how these work in the country where you're living. Now, places like the UK and the US, they have very structured and very developed pension systems, but other countries around the world don't really have that luxury. So there may be very limited contribution levels that you can pay into workplace or private pension schemes, and the options that are available might be quite limited as well. Very opaque, maybe a lack of investment options, and quite expensive. So sometimes it is quite hard to find a pension scheme that you actually want and gives you the options that you need. The last thing I would look at is where to invest your money. Okay, just because you move to a new country doesn't mean you have to invest in that country specifically, and actually the best option would be to keep your funds in a tax neutral jurisdiction. And what I mean by tax neutral is a place where there's no capital gains tax, there's no dividend tax, there's no inheritance tax, there's no withholding tax, so there's no tax whatsoever, which means that all you have to focus on is paying tax in the country of where you're living. And this means if you do move country, it's portable, so you can take your investments with you and you haven't got to worry about any sort of taxes or, for example, selling your investments, paying an unnecessary tax to set them up somewhere else.